I'm literally sitting here just from waking up, having coffee, trying to have a smoke, and just tune the world the fuck out of my head. Because I have been in a state of complete, like, connection to source and the earth, and I have felt like a fucking wind balloon caught in lightning in a tornado that has its own torrential tsunami and rainstorm of information in it. I feel like I have become a part of the fabric of existence, and there's this flow of everything coming through me, and none of anything I have come into contact with in the recent 4 days seems to be able to lie to me or to deceive anything from me. And it seems like I can see through people's soul stories. Like I can see the light that made your light, the light that came out of God when the you that came out of God when God thought of you. It's like I can sit next to God and I'm watching God show me all of these little stars and all of their lives and all the stories. And it's like the Penelope Dreamweaver card. Oh my God, here it goes again. It's like the Penelope Dreamweaver card where she's floating in this black space and she's just holding one hand up, and there's like this one sphere in that hand that's glowing brighter than the rest. And it's glowing so bright it looks like it's the Rar card from the Fairies Oracle, where it's like about to explode everything around it. But the brighter it gets, the more it becomes like a sun. And these, I'm like seeing all this from every point of view of every star, every little being, myself, God's hand, God's eyes, like the black empty space in between. I can't tell which one's me and which one's not me. A lot of you have been saying recently how insanely, frighteningly accurate my readings have been. Both personal, both phone conversations, the videos I post on YouTube where I'm like specifically asking guides, tone it the fuck down. Because I can feel the rush of this like fiery lightning coming through me when I'm speaking in the videos. I have no idea what the fuck comes through me. I have no idea, like no agenda, no nothing. I literally when it starts coming, like when it is an overflow, do you know what it feels like? Yo, it feels like my entire body is sneezing, but there's no release. It feels like my entire body gets stuck in a state of orgasm, but it's not sexual. It's like my head, my heart, my skin feel like I get drowned in this water of like liquid light, and it seeps through all my pores, and then it comes out of my voice like it sounds like echoes of this like boom. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like I'm hearing in the back of my mind this sound of this like exploding glass shard that's just I'm translating the echoes of the sound of that explosion, but that explosion is happening in the future for you of that thing, but I'm seeing it from the back of it. Like you're standing here looking at this, I'm looking at the back of it, and I'm like, yo, like it's like, oh, time, I'm back in time looking at the future in time, and I'm seeing it from there. Then when I get to the future part, I can see it from that other angle. The past few days and all of this stuff that's going on, I can see all of it, but I can't tell the time. I can't tell the dimensions. I can't tell physicality. Everything feels like it's just moving all the time. All the time. I cannot stop the messages that come through. So what the like when I click record on a video, or when I'm sitting here just trying to mind my own fucking business, like I literally don't want to know anything about anybody. But then when this like explosion happens inside me, and it starts, it's not even one localized spot. I can't even say it's my chakra system acting up or like kundalini energy rising up or something. No, it's like I turn into an Esper from. Did you know what Final Fantasy 3 or I think 6 was? Where Terra turns into this like glowy creature and then she like turns back into a normal person. It feels like my human body turns into electricity. But it's not electricity, it's like liquid. And it's not liquid because it's light, and it's not light because it's tangible. I don't know what the fuck is going on, okay? The past few days, ever since that worm tongue energy, and now I can feel it. Like I can feel the energy that was coming through. Like one message was delivered and the lightning streaked back, and now it's recharging again for another message. And they keep showing me the Penelope Dreamweaver as a message to you guys, like all these little stars everywhere. The more one glows, all the other ones are going to start glowing too. So if you don't, if you aren't, if you won't be mentally prepared for accepting that you are psychic. Like, I feel like this guide in front of me is talking to talking to me as if I'm like a toddler in kindergarten, but the toddler is teaching other toddlers, but all the toddlers are students, and the teacher that's teaching the toddler is also a student, but they're all teachers. And then the kindergarten class they're showing me is teaching the preschool class. And then the preschool class is all teachers, but they're all students learning something to teach the teachers in college. It's like a threaded, I'm seeing like a threaded needle stitching something up. And each stitch is like a generation. And they're stitching them all up in this row. I keep hearing 21, 21, and I feel like I want to like cry happy tears. Anyway, I'm gonna go. The reason I even made this fucking video, you guys, like, seriously, I was literally sitting here smoking. Okay, we're back to this. Fuck, this energy is intense. I've never channeled like this. I think I've come into contact with somebody who had, that's candle wax, by the way. I had a candle dripping over there years ago, and I think it's cute because every time people see it, they're like, did you jizz on your speakers? I'm like, bro, that doesn't even happen the right way anymore. Like, no, that's not it. That's candle wax. That's coffee. They are my CNC speakers. C. It's cute. I ordered new ones. Don't worry. They glow like this. I think I got them for like $8. I don't know how good they're gonna be. Okay, seriously. It's like temperature of water changing, and I keep getting distracted, and it's like it's happening on purpose to get me to notice the distraction and different energy. So I think I'm being taught something to teach you something, and I'm being asked to show you in real time so that when you have these energetic shifts, you can tell that you're not going crazy. It's an actual energy from the universe coming through you to give you a message. It's not your mind, it's not your heart, it's both coming together, and it feels like insanity because it's something that makes sense that you don't expect it to make sense. You assume it's insanity, but in I'm hearing this so professionally. In the correct way of thinking and utilizing your mind, it is not insanity, it is the discovery of sanity within you in a very unclear perspective of the world you have been viewing with your clarity. Okay, stop. I was trying to tell these people something. I was just sitting here. I was watching this video from Pippi, and I thought I was in the future. Like, I legitimately thought I was around the year 2027. I thought this was like January 7th, 2027. It was very normal. Like, I couldn't even tell what day in January it was, but it was early January. But I was certain it was 2027 because we just had New Year's a few days ago, and my mom's birthday is coming up in January. And I'm clicking, like, sitting here watching this video, not paying attention and hearing her voice in my physical body, but my mind is like visualizing the outside world as 2027. Do you have any idea of the amount of information I just seeped back with me from the possibilities of the timelines of the year 2027 as I'm sitting here drinking coffee, watching a fucking tarot card reading about a zodiac sign that has nothing to do with me so I can get my mind off of this stuff. I don't even know an Aries, and the only Aries I have in my chart is like the cusp of what I would have been if I was born like in the tropical placement and not in the Vedic placement, because I was born in Iran supposedly. Like, I don't even know where I was really born. I think it was Iran. They had to remake my birth certificate when I was 20 something because nobody could find it. Whatever, I don't even want to be like reassuring you about the future. All I want to tell you is, yo, I was literally just sitting there and I have made a 10-minute video of me rambling to a fucking phone because of how important this message has been to get to you, but it's being diverted by all these other energies. And I'm being taught how to manipulate these other energies to clarify the information coming through, to translate it and deliver it to you purified, like a Scorpio, but with the ability of a Pisces to go anywhere and channel all the energies, and then the moon sign Gemini to flip it back and forth. Oh, it's your astrology chart. You guys listening to this, there's something in your astrology chart that will show you that you're not crazy. It has to do with your moon sign and the supernatural abilities that you think don't come with each zodiac sign. Oh, and I just heard, Roma, you should do that. Okay, I can explain that. That's easy. I'll do that later. Oh my God, back to 2027 again. Oh, it's like a fucking ocean pulling me back and forth with the wind popping at my head every time I peek my head out of the water. And it's like a news channel of like the information from this different world. It's not a different world. It's this world. It's this world, and when people start realizing they have supernatural abilities, it becomes that world. Oh, eclipse, eclipse, eclipse. When is the next eclipse? I keep seeing an eclipse in my head. And I don't want to say like I keep seeing, I keep hearing, because I can feel a sense of embarrassment in my body right now. I'm not hearing it with my physical ears, and I'm not seeing it with my physical eyes. You know the feeling, like if I hold this in front of you, you know it's orange, and you know it's a nail polish thing, right? Like, and then if you, with more detail and more viewing, you see the letters. The way I see these isn't through specific, well, actually, yeah, it is. And I do see the guides, and I see them very detailed, and I see the environments, and I see the colors and shapes and geometry and the vibration and the waves and the lights. And there's static, and then there's orbs, and then there's, it's like an entire other world. It's like the world I'm sitting in right now, staring at this, is a blurry, eye crispy, and caught in my eyelids that I'm looking at, but the real world is actually behind this. And the more we realize that we have these supernatural abilities, the more we can see through this world, and we realize this world is like the effervescent bubbles on a champagne glass. The champagne is beneath it, creating the illusions, but the reality is the glass in a room that's being held by somebody. And I think something is like going on in this week where you will feel weak, but you are not weak in this week. I keep wanting to say you'll weep with delight, but I want to say it as you will weep with the light. But it's not sad weeping. It looks like people weeping with joy, like relief, relief. Okay, see, the way I'm translating this, and I'm doing this really vulnerably in front of you because I want you to know you're not crazy. Like, this is something everybody can do. I didn't know I could do this when I was flipping cards for you guys and for myself for like 40 years, almost 30 some years. I would always hear specific words in my head, like phrases, like Rumi quotes, or it was like this sudden overflow of warmth in my chest, and then it would come out of my throat, and it would be some phrase. And I've had journal after journal where I've written all these phrases and messages down. Well, in the recent week, everything that I'm not going to talk to you about, but I can do, kind of got really, really quiet to the point where I thought my life was over. Like, I couldn't sense anything with any of my clair abilities or my synesthesia that I've talked to you about. So, like, my ability to see, but to taste what I'm seeing or to hear what I'm seeing, even if it makes no sound, wasn't working right. My ability to like, feel color without touching it, or to feel sound without hearing it. It was like, because of the near-death experiences I've had, my mind's ability to separate and translate senses one by one was messed with. And in this week, with this weird energy going around, around so many other readers, so many, and like so many people we don't even know that are going through this all across the world, or that went through this. It's like some darkness got lifted out of the entire collective of these light workers and shadow workers. And this I thought all the sounds were like gone. I couldn't feel anything for about a good day, and I felt so isolated. And then suddenly it was like electricity. I was static shocking Lily. I was static shocking everything. I couldn't get enough movement and water and like candy and sugar, and I kept staring at the sun at dawn and at dusk. I was up for almost 48 hours because I kept waiting for the sunrise and sunset. I couldn't sleep. And now, instead of hearing and seeing and sensing the way I did before, I can literally see, it's like a picture in picture. One picture is what I'm looking at. The other picture is a collective of an entire world going from panorama to focused, and each of them is holding like a GoPro. And each GoPro is showing me either words or a message to like a video. Others are holding post-it signs. Others are holding like sticks with signs on them, like the rally signs. Others are like dancing. Others are expressing the message in what is that game? Charades. Others are playing a Monopoly board or a chess game, and they're moving, waiting for you to figure it out on your end, what move they're trying to get you to make. It's like they're testing you from a few steps ahead to see if you're going to realize that you're a few steps behind, or to see if you're on a level playing ground, which is telling me there's still so much more I have to figure out about this and learn. So I don't know. Oh, they're telling me that there's going to be a lot of vulnerability that has to be revealed within each and every one of you, and it's going to come through people in your life. Like, people in your life are going to tap 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 on your heart to remind you that you have one and that you can still feel. Oh, please don't do that to me. I feel everything all the time. Please just let me stay in my fucking tower and like oracle stuff for people. I don't want Prince Charming or like a knight in shining armor to rescue me right now. Just go away, man thing. I feel it. Like, that's what I just felt. Like, whatever it is, it's like a feeling of not even wanting to deal with it. Like, just I literally did this, shooing this away to the corner of the light that was shining against the shadow there. Like, I was trying to keep something in the shadow. And I'm being made very aware to inform you of this, to be aware of every single action you make, because the majority of your time, this is talking to you as well as me, okay, to all of us, that this is the energy you feel in your body. Like, you're not conscious of your entire body most of the time. Like, right now, I'm really conscious of my chest, of my head, of my root, and like Christmas lights. I see a strand of Christmas lights, and I can feel and taste their color. It's like blueberry, and then there's grape, and a lime, and green apple, and then there's an orange, and some cherries. Wait, strawberry. No, is that a raspberry? No, it's the inside of a watermelon on a grassy field, and then there's a grassy field, and then a pink pool of water. And the pink pool of water is turning gold and white and silver and glittering, And then there's like this woman popping out of it. What the fuck? This transmission of energy that's been coming through me is so clean. It's so pure. And it feels so familiar. And I keep being asked and nudged through a sensation in the top right corner of my chest, like this. It feels like that. Like just pushing, not even tapping, just coming into contact and pushing in and pushing forward and pushing in towards the green, from the blue, from the purple, pushing the orange towards the green. See? It's right in front of us. The message keeps coming up right in front of us, and our guides have been saying, pay attention, but we keep translating it like this. Not like this. Or like that. So start practicing your abilities. Meditate, tune in, really, really, really pay attention to your emotions. My emotions have been like a sacred gift to me my entire life. They have been my best friend. I have always, 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 always been overly emotional. I had to learn how to control my emotions. The more I've been controlling my emotions and utilizing the ability of putting my conscious mind aside and allowing messages to come through to Terra, has created a clear channel, is what I'm being shown and what I want to say and what feels right to say. So pay attention to the way you feel when you express messages or when you have thoughts, because sometimes those thoughts aren't yours, but the feelings are yours, and you get lost in the awareness between. It's like our consciousness goes from overthinking to overfeeling, and we focus be aware of your hand right now. Focus your awareness on your hand or my hand or nail polish, something like on the screen, okay? For that split second where your attention went to the hand, were you paying attention to your feet or even aware that you had feet? It was like a slingshot effect to the hand, right? Like, listen, 1, 2, 3. Where's your nose? Like you just felt your nose and the rest of your body felt like it was pulling up awareness to your nose, right? Now from your nose, can you feel how high your hair is going up on your head? You just kind of felt your shoulders, right? It's like we're just out of tune, just slightly. And like everyone's guides and ancestors, they're like fine-tuning this like energetic frequency. And they're asking me to do this here on the phone with you because I just jumped back and forth almost a decade, and there's some weird wobbliness in my being. For you to witness the wobbliness, to realize that the wobbliness is something you have gotten used to. And when you balance that wobbliness and like create a stable structure for yourself to nurture your gifts like a plant, you'll see just how easy it is to see through the lies. It will be like a beam of sunlight going through the trees. Whether it's blocked or whether it's absorbed or whether it reaches the ground, the sun will transmit the message. And the light will come to the earth. It's already there. That felt really, really sacred right now. I don't know what the heck that was. I felt like a church bell just went out in me. Like a church bell went dong, and I can't feel anything anymore right now. I can't. I feel zapped. I don't know how else to describe it. Like I just stepped out of a pool of water and I stepped onto an electrical plate that zapped me. Like a static shock. But it doesn't feel bad. It feels like baseline neutral. Oh, you can't access your gifts if you're not neutral or positive. If you're feeling negative in any aspect of your being, you are unable to access the gifts because the negativity acts like thorns in the channel of messages coming through. So the entire world was shown through each and every one of them, each and every person, the negative energy within them, for it to be cleared out so they can become a clear channel for the light. Oh, and I saw that future in 2027, and they brought me back to this one, or my whatever, however that rubber band effect happened, to see the result of everyone being a clear channel, so that I can hold that space and come here with that vibration still in place while I never left this vibration, to bring that here and create a sphere of rippling influence of clear, transparent light. Oh, that sounds like a lot of work. I'm gonna go because I feel like I'm in a classroom and I really want to go get a Snickers bar. So I don't even have a Snickers bar right now, but I have coffee and I want to go finish my coffee because I literally had this much of my coffee while I was sitting here being in 2027. Oh, 227 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2, which is 2 people coming together to form a family. So then there's 2 plus 2, so there's 2 families coming together with the 7, which is the number of faith and divinity and all that. It's holy stuff. And it's preordained in lifetimes that you are unaware of. Whoa. I'm gonna go. I just felt like this loving old mom just sent somebody a message. You're about to find the love of your life, and like you never not found them. They were just waiting for you to get rid of the negative energy that was preventing your light from shining through you, and they couldn't see you. Because your light with negativity matches other lights with negativity. It's like a rippling effect of narcissism. Oh my God. That's why I've been feeling so weird. It's like this gross electric eel energy. I felt the electricity, but the eel part of it, the slimy part, wasn't supposed to be there. It was like dirty electricity, dirty energy. Guys, go sage, take a salt bath, detox for 3 days. I've been detoxing for almost a week. I've barely eaten anything but a homemade veggie stew I made for myself with just veggies, like not even chicken stock or anything. I put beets and carrots and potatoes and some cabbages and different things in a stew, and I've just let them boil. I've been having sips of it for 2 days now. Not even a full bowl. And I've just been drinking water and coffee and smoking copious amounts of Mary Jane because it seems to make the messages that come through far more clear than without it. Without it, the conscious mind is in the way, and it's like, you're crazy. With it, the conscious mind is like, bro, there's a message coming in from the big giant head. And I'm like, I know. I've known all along. It's like the subconscious and the conscious, and then there's a direct link between the two. And everybody has it. Everybody has it. But to notice it, you got to notice what I just showed you here in this 30-minute video. It's the subtle energy. It's the subtle energy that you think are your mood shifts, but they're not. See that veil on the light? The light's always been there. The connection between the conscious mind, the television that's always going, and the subconscious mind that's covered from you, with a guardian at the gate, consuming things. This is like a representation of your being, right? So when you remove the veil from the conscious mind, stop trying to control it, stop trying to stop it, and stop trying to absorb other people's light. Like black screens absorb and reflect. White screens emit, right? Like the white light and the black light. Don't absorb other people's negative energy and then cover it up. Don't do that. Instead, let your conscious mind say whatever the fuck it wants to say about anything you have to say. Let your subconscious mind defend or do whatever it needs to do. Don't fight either one. Simply pay attention to the light in between and what you're feeling. Those feelings are your indicator for where in your system you're misaligned. Whether it's your mind being a meme factory for other people's opinions, where you're just repeating other people's behavior, ancestral and otherwise, or whether you're blocked away and isolating yourself in your subconscious and pretending that you're fine by wearing a gray mask. Where it's just like, no, I'm fine, here's a fake smile. I know, you're not fine, I'm not fine, nobody's fine. Like, I just posted pictures on Facebook yesterday where I was crying the night before and I had these huge fucking dark circles and I looked exhausted. But I posted them after I took a shower, my hair is all wet, and I'm like, yo, here's me as a human, like learning how to be human. Go easy, like, Cindy from Awakening Despair says, be gentle with yourself. And she, like, it's so true, man. It's so true. Like, I've been, like, be kind, be gentle. What you're feeling isn't even fully accurate because what you're feeling is still trying to get through what you're denying and what you're hiding. So your psychic abilities, that golden jar that's next to that salt lamp, that's full of God knows what, and that album of your entire past life histories that you have access to, your Akashic records, they're right there. But even that light by itself isn't enough. You got to have all three things, your entire system, in control so you can manifest yourself in action to open that box, right? You can't just open it from here going like this, thinking about it, or like fiddling with it, or like trying to telekinetically open it. If you can, that's great, but then you're not utilizing the gift of your body. So, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go. Please pay attention to your emotions, because that's the trick on how I, Roma William Arsenos, learned this. I learned this through my emotions because I was feeling irrational emotions for things that weren't mine or my energy. And I was feeling irrational because I was aware it wasn't my energy, but I wasn't aware on how to transmute it, kind of. It was like an ambiguous energy that was there that didn't have a place to go. And it wasn't anyone else's. It was and it wasn't mine. It was like a bolting cat, like something that was there that wasn't supposed to be there, that nobody knows where it came from. Like, I don't know where Lily came from. Somebody, like the neighbor from downstairs, brought her to me one day. He's like, here you go. I'm like, the fuck? All right. It's something like that. Like something was put on your being eons ago, and it was put there to get you to not have to divert your psychic abilities. It might have been put there in a past life to like take you out of the picture of some kind. Maybe that's why there's a sense of victimization. Like, I feel like somebody wounded me just now. But it's not me. It's like an echo of a harp string that just played. Oh, it's a past life experience where someone victimized somebody in order to take their psychic abilities because they were jealous. Oh, like an energetic curse. Like gossip. You guys, don't be petty. Bruh, don't be petty. It's fucking 2020, whatever. And like, I was in 2027. I just felt like I was still in 2027. And I was talking to like the two kids. I can't tell if they're male or female. And they were just being super petty, like pulling each other's hair and pointing at this other one, like laughing at her. Like, that's not cool. I don't know what you guys are doing, but like, it's so uncouth and immature for a human being to do to another human being that it's not even worth acknowledging that somebody did it. It's like just side-eyeing it and saying, you guys are being this way, and not even acknowledging it with words to bring it into the creation of what you're witnessing as something that's acknowledged. You know? Like, the more you disacknowledge the petty energy you don't want to be involved in, the more it fades away. And I'm seeing this image of the movie Merlin, where they're trying to fight Mab, the evil queen, but instead of fighting her, they're like, the village turns around and just ignores her. They don't even argue. They just turn around and say, the only way to beat you, Mab, is to forget you. And they turn around and walk out the room, and the evil villain just fades into nothingness. Like, there's nothing to fight. There's nothing to fight. It's not even a ghost to exercise. It's not even energy to be transmuted. There simply is nothing to fight. It's all love vibration that people have perceived as not, due to panic, fear, anxiety, and previous programming and limitations in the brain that prevented the person from witnessing what it was actually witnessing. Instead, it's like seeing a bowl of, and I apologize if you're eating something, please take a, stop eating something because I'm about to say something a little gross. I just saw this image and I don't want you to see it the way I saw it. Our vision has been obscured. So if we're looking at a bowl of I'm going to replace the image. I'm sorry, you guys. The original image was spaghetti and something similar to spaghetti but living, and I don't want to say that. There's a bowl of like rice that's like, brown rice, and then there's a bowl of dirt. We've been looking at a bowl of dirt thinking it's a bowl of rice, when the bowl of rice was actually here the entire time, but we were looking at it as the bowl of dirt. We were always looking at the correct thing. We were just not trusting what we're looking at because we were put in a state of confusion and distortion to where there was confusion. We couldn't decide, is this or isn't this? Left brain or right brain? Is this what it is or isn't this what it is? And it's caused confusion. And a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, from a few days ago said confusion is the thing that takes you away from your North Star. Don't forget your North Star. Confusion isn't real energy. It is a illusion of deceit. It's not even real. You create your reality. So when you're confused, it is an external energy attempting to get you to create something that you don't want to. It's like stealing your power. You notice how subtle that energy is? How really, really insidiously small and unnoticeable it is. It's like that confusion vibe is like the oil slick in a bubble that's like a pure soap bubble, but there's one little slick of oil that's causing like this rainbow iridescence that's not rainbow, and you see it and you think it's that, but it's not. It's that simple within each and every person. That's how I've been noticing it. It's the simplest sense of confusion. And when you have a negative feeling towards, or a negative thought towards, like, let's say you're like Lily scratched me the other day. I picked her up to hug her, and like she dug her nails in my back to like grab on and pull herself onto my shoulders. It fucking hurt so bad. And like she jumped, like I winced in pain and I was like, ow. And she like got scared and then scratched me even more to use my back as a bouncing board and jump off of me. I stood there and I couldn't say anything, and I just felt so hurt, but at the same time angry, and at the same time confused as to why this creature would hurt me like this. And I caught myself in that moment realizing she didn't hurt me. I picked her up and she got scared. She thought she was going to fall. But the confusion in me had me feeling like she was trying to hurt me. Do you notice how simple and totally valid and justified both scenarios could have been? But the factual scenario is that little teeny tiny cat doesn't like being picked up. And if I pick her up more than a few feet, like higher than that, she freaks out and thinks she's going to fall. I think her previous owners threw her around a lot. So when I picked that up, I felt that confusion. I felt the, like I was being hurt, but I also felt how she was hurt through how I was hurt. It's like a mirrored, oily reflection. Like something was so hurt, it can't show you the full reflection. It shows it to you through distortion. But it's an external energy. It's like the color gray as consciousness. You know how we always talk about black and white? This color feels like the color gray. Like it wasn't gray before, it was silver. But it's now like seen as gray. Like I'm noticing all the gray so much. There's something about the word gray, G-R-E-Y and G-R-A-Y. I'm gonna go, I want coffee. Oh, boundaries. Oh. Okay, so I just realized what all of this is about. I've literally given you a 40-minute lesson on how to channel without knowing it. And the way to shut it off is to have boundaries. And the way I'm seeing these boundaries come up is like I'm sitting in this building, but I'm seeing the bricks of the building come up one brick by brick over and over around me in a 360 perspective. And then another guide is saying, or you could just ask it to stop.